Hey, what's up? It's Turbo with 91.3 FM and the Metal Meltdown, joined here by the one, the only George Corpsegrinder Fisher from Cannibal Corpse. Dude, thank you so much for taking time for this interview.
No problem.
You bring up a couple of things in what you were just saying that I'd like to mention or ask you about. One of which is you were talking about older songs, more classic songs. And leading up until the release of Evisceration Plague and then, of course, now Torture, I got asked for, anytime it was Cannibal Corpse, it's always Hammer Smash Face. Now, a lot of people got into Cannibal Corpse and, by way of that song specifically because of, oddly enough, Ace Ventura, but also Chris Barnes, and all respect to him, was in the band and was the front man at the time. Do you feel like there's any animosity or weirdness or anything between the band as it is now versus what people liked back in the day when Chris was a part of it, or is there anything that goes on between, say, 6 Feet Under versus Cannibal Corpse, or is it all just, hey, everything's cool, they do what they do, we do what we do?
Well, fan wise, they're fans. I'm sure I don't think that there's as many as most people would think, fans that are obviously loyal to Chris and what he did with the band. My whole thing is it's different. We're still playing those old songs. Sure, I sing them differently than he did, but that's just the way it is, and it's not changing. So, fucking deal with it. Stop being fucking babies. Number one.
There you go. There you go.
And if you don't want to listen to us, well, what? Then don't. You know what I mean? You listen to those guys, and that's cool. And we don't have a problem with them. You know what I mean? We don't have a problem with Chris. Everything's cool. And I respect that people want to hear the old stuff with him singing it, but that's just not happening right now. And he's got his thing. We're doing ours. And look, like I said, really, I do understand it. And I know that telling people to fuck off is kind of harsh, but yeah, I've seen a lot of harsh things said, by disgruntled people. And it's like, listen, man, I understand. I know. I get what they're saying. But the reality is the reality. And, we're fine. We're still playing the old stuff, and we're still going, and we're not gonna I don't want to dwell on this too long. I mean, really, we're cool with them. We're cool with Chris. Alex has seen him in the past couple shows in Tampa. I didn't make it out. I saw him at Iron Maiden, played last year in Tampa. Saw him there. Everything's fine. We're not cats and dogs or anything. We're not,
right.
We're not fighting each other. I mean, everything's cool. I respect the stuff he did with the band, and hopefully he respects what I have done with the band and what I've done with the songs that he wrote. He's a big part of the history of the band. There's that is the reality. So just people being bitter about it, is one thing. But between the bands, we're not. We're cool.
You were mentioning earlier about kind of like taking a break and maybe doing a little bit less in a set, 3 songs less or whatever else. And then you also mentioned Iron Maiden, which brings me to my next question: is that you've been around doing this since '95 with Cannibal Corpse specifically. You've been in the music scene longer. Iron Maiden now, I mean, those guys are past their 50s, pushing 60s. Do you see Cannibal Corpse doing this as Iron Maiden is, past their 50s?
Well,
how many windmills are left in that neck?
Oh
of yours?
yeah, well that's the big part for me.
Right.
Is the voice and headbanging.
What do you do for your voice? I mean, for the most part, do you do vocal lessons? Because I've talked to tons of different artists that do that.
A damn thing.
You just get up there and scream.
I try to just stay out of smoky clubs and stay out of loud clubs after the show. Talking over music all night long. I don't smoke, so that I'm sure I guess helps in some way. Otherwise, I don't do shit. You know what I mean? I just I just play the shows. I mean, right before when we first walk on stage, I might be looking at the drums, and I might do a couple of like growls just to kind of judge where my voice is at. Especially after the end of a long tour. But otherwise, I don't take any. I never had any vocal lessons, anything like that. I mean, my teachers were all the guys that I were listening to in the bands growing up. That's who taught me how to sing. Basically, I tried to emulate them as best I could, and then I did what I did in my first band and Corpsegrinder, which this was the name of it. I was me and Lee started Monstrosity. I did my thing there. I think I started to kind of carve a niche of how I was going to be singing, and I think I sing deeper in Cannibal than I did when I was in Monstrosity. My voice has gotten deeper. The bass is deeper, but still there's the high screams and the mid stuff. So, I never thought that I would never there would be anybody who could give me lessons for, like, you know. Now maybe there's some breathing techniques or something, but I figure by now, if I don't know them, I don't fucking need them. You know,
Right.
I'll be fucking 42. Nobody's gonna, you know. Maybe I'm just being stubborn douche. You know, maybe somebody could say, hey man, if you know, do this, do that, and it would open up a whole new world. But I probably would only entertain that idea if I really thought I was slipping. You know what I mean, vocal wise. Head neck wise, I think I feel okay. You know, I don't think I know I feel okay. So who knows, man? You know, look. There's a lot of different factors involved that are just outside of just me and how I feel. You know, there's other guys in the band too as well, but I think we're all, you know, happy doing this and having a good time doing this, and you know, I mean, why quit if, you know, you're having fun doing
As
what
long as
you
you
do?
can keep doing it, right?
So yeah, it's up to, you know, the physical part is the biggest, you know, question mark. That's something you can't, you know, you can't put a timeline on. You just, your body gives up, it gives up. You know what I mean, as far as, you know, the neck or whatever, or the voice. But otherwise, you know, shit, we can keep going. Why not?